I'm going to show how I made these little beaded fringes, or tassels. Beaded tassels, that's what you call. This is the very first beaded tassels I've ever made, so they're not fancy or anything, but they're kind of cute. They kind of dress up my scarf that I crocheted. So I'm going to show you how I did them. I've done everything except the last one. And this design that I crocheted has, you know, these little ridges to it, chevrons or ripple or whatever you want to call it. And so I'm putting a tassel wherever there's a point that dresses it up a little bit. So here's the last one ready to get started with. So I'm using worsted weight yarn, just your basic medium weight standard yarn. You can probably use Red Heart Super Saver if that's all you have at your local store. But any worsted weight yarn works. I'm using a vintage wool nylon blend that someone gave me. And the regular tassel yarn is about 6 inches, about almost 7 inches long. Yeah, it's about 7 inches long. And 7 inches is the same as about 17 centimeters, I guess. So that's how long your regular tassel strand is. And you also need one long strand. And the one long strand that you need is 12 inches long, or 30 centimeters. So you set aside that long one, and you get 2 strands of the short one. When you figure out which side is going, sorry, I've got hiccups, which side's going to be the front of your scarf and which side's going to be the back of your scarf, because you need to start putting your fringe on or tassels on at the back. So you find the spot. You have to use a crochet hook, any size hook. I'm using a size H. So you find the spot where you want your tassel to be, and you stick your hook straight down through the very edge right there. Then you fold your short yarns in half using 2 strands, and you pull them up through with your crochet hook. Not all the way, about halfway through, like that. And then when it's through, get your strands arranged so they're kind of even. It's not going to be perfect yet. And then you can use the hook if you want, or you can use your fingers, whatever it is you want to do. Just pull it through that loop up there, like that. So I'm going to show you that again. When you pulled it through, your hook was like this. So just wrap the strands around the hook like that, and pull them through that loose loop up here. Just pull them through like that. You can also use your fingers. You can just set that hook aside after you pull it through and you've got that loop up here, and you can put your fingers through it like that and pull those through. Now at this point you really want to do your best to try to get those strands even and all about the same length. And then you pull until it's connected up at the top like that, nice and neat. Now you have your regular fringe, is what that would be. A lot of people will just do fringe that way and just keep on adding more and more fringe. But I decided this time I wanted to bring out those points with tassels. So then I need a pony bead. That's what these are, just simple little pony beads. I got them at the craft store I got this whole pack for $1 on clearance. The beads are 6 by 9 millimeter. They're pearl pony beads. So you can find pony beads at your local craft store, and just find a color that looks good with your yarn. I didn't like the pink or the yellow, but the orange is just right. with this orangey yarn. So now I need to get all 4 of these strands through the center of my bead. The easiest way to do that is with a great big yarn needle. Make sure that the eye of your needle will fit through your bead with plenty of room left over for the yarn to come through as well. And you put your needle across the yarn like that. Get your yarn real flat in your hand just like I did. Put your needle across it and fold it. Make it real tight, real tight. And squeeze your fingers and pull the needle out, and then just put the hook of the needle right across where those strands of yarn are and wiggle it around, and that'll squish the yarn up through the hole. It gets easier with practice. You should practice with just 1 strand, and then after a while you'll be able to do it with 4 like I just did. So that's how you get it. I'll show you how to do that again. You really should practice doing this a lot anyway. This is a skill that you'll use for several different needle crafts. Just fold it across and hold it real tight. Then pull the needle out and squish it real tight with your fingers, and it makes it flat. So that flat surface now is going to be real easy to run through the eye of your needle. And then you pull it through. Just like that. Then you've got it on the needle, and you can run that through your pony bead. Real easy. Now the pony bead is on there, but it's not attached because it will just pull right off. So we need to attach it. So to make it attached, you get that long strand of yarn, the one that's 12 inches long or 30 centimeters, and put it right at the center. Wrap it around your, see how I've got it underneath? And you're going to tie a knot right underneath where that bead is. So pull there, just like that. And then you flip it over and then tie another knot on the back with the same 2 strands. Make sure you're using those long strands. Tie another little simple knot here. Then you get these 2 strands, the long strands, and you get a smaller yarn needle that still has a great big eye. It's not a standard sewing needle, it's a yarn needle. Or some people call it a tapestry needle, but it's not for embroidery, it's for yarn. You'll find it in the yarn section of your craft store. And you run those 2 strands through it. And now what we're going to do is make sure the knot is nice and snug up against that bead, and we run the needle through the knot, through the center of the bead, and through the knot at the top. And this is the part that's kind of hard because it's hard to grip everything and pull it through. So you have to just wiggle back and forth, wiggle back and forth. And you can also buy a little rubber grip that they make just for this problem. I have one. It's somewhere in my craft room. I just didn't have time to find it. So it'll help you get a better grip on the needle when you have tight spots like this. So just keep on wiggling. And you have to have confidence. You have to say, I will pull it through. And there it goes. And make sure you're not pulling anything through but those 2 strands. There. And then it gives it a nice little look down here at the bottom. And then instead of just cutting it, we're going to run it back down through there, and then it'll be part of your tassel. But before you run it back through, hook it through a piece of your scarf up higher, a little bit higher, and that secures that yarn a little bit more. And then run it back through the knots and the bead again. And this takes even more confidence and luck. Good grip. And you pull it through. Ta-da! And then now you just trim those ends to make it nice and even across the bottom. And hopefully you have better scissors than I do, because mine are not very sharp right now. I need to get them sharpened up sometime. There. And now I'm all done. I got a pretty beaded fringe on the scarf. So that's how to make a simple beaded fringe, the way I do anyway. There's probably another way that's easier, but this works. So there you go. Have fun. Bye.